After Mark's help with her lawn, Sarah felt a strong sense of obligation. To return the favor, she embarked on what she hoped would be a sophisticated culinary experience. We find her in the kitchen, carefully organizing her workspace. Armed with a favorite cookbook, she surveys her ingredients. An array of fresh vegetables and a high-quality organic chicken. She's the picture of focus, completely unaware that even the best laid plans can go sideways in the kitchen. The preparation begins with the basics, chopping the aromatics. As Sarah dices a large white onion, the sharp vapors permeate the air, triggering an involuntary crying fit. She isn't just cooking, she's struggling to see through a blur of tears. I really should have looked up a trick for this, she mutters, wiping her face with her shoulder. It's a frustrating start, but she's determined to stick to the recipe and impress her guest. Complexity often leads to chaos. While Sarah is distracted picking herbs, a pot on the stove reaches a critical point. A steady simmer quickly escalates into a violent overflow. Starchy liquid cascades over the rim, hissing as it hits the hot burner and creating a scorched mess. Sarah lunges for the dial, her composure starting to slip. It's a classic case of trying to do too much at once. The kitchen is starting to feel like a battlefield. Order is eventually restored, and the seasoned chicken is finally placed in the oven. Sarah sets the timer for exactly 60 minutes, 1 hour. Feeling a mixture of relief and pride, she envisions the final result. A perfectly roasted chicken with golden crispy skin. Seeking a brief respite from the heat, she retreats to the living room, allowing herself to be lulled into a false sense of security while the oven hums quietly in the background. The silence is shattered by a sudden high-pitched screech. The smoke detector in the hallway has been triggered. Sarah is jolted awake by the relentless beep, beep, beep of the alarm. Racing back to the kitchen, she's met with a harrowing sight. Thick gray smoke is pouring from the edges of the oven door. The air is heavy with the smell of burnt food. Her heart sinks as she realizes her masterpiece is likely a disaster. With a sense of dread, Sarah puts on her oven mitts and opens the door. A cloud of soot hits her, making her cough. When the smoke clears, she's left staring at the remains of her meal. The chicken has been utterly ruined, reduced to a blackened, dried-out husk. It's not just overcooked, it's incinerated. She stands in the middle of the smoky room, the weight of failure settling over her as she looks at the ruined bird. Exactly at the peak of her despair, the doorbell rings. Mark has arrived, right on time. He stands there with a bottle of wine and a friendly smile. However, as the door opens, he's greeted by the smell of herbs, but by a thick fog of smoke. The alarm continues to chirp in the background. Sarah? He asks, his voice a mix of concern and curiosity. Is everything okay? It looks like a steam room in here. Sarah leads him to the kitchen and points to the black chicken. She's ready to apologize and cancel the whole night. But Mark's reaction is unexpected. A genuine smile spreads across his face, and he lets out a laugh. Well, he says, I've always preferred my chicken extra crispy. His ability to find humor in the situation immediately breaks the tension. Sarah realizes that her need for perfection was unnecessary. Mark is just happy to be there. The evening ends not with a fancy roast, but with a delivery box. They decide to order from a local pizzeria, and soon the room is filled with the smell of melted cheese. Sitting on the floor, they enjoy a simple, delicious pizza. The smoke has cleared, the wine is poured, and the conversation is much better than it would have been at a formal table. In the story of their friendship, the burnt chicken was just a funny detour on the way to a great night. I hope you enjoyed learning English as you continue to follow the story of Sarah and Mark. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.